Hi there, Kelly Atkins here. Just wanted to offer you a breath meditation and some exercises that you can do to free up your shoulders. We've been exploring the breath and the whole chest and shoulder area for the whole month of April. And we're going into the anatomy of the rib cage, which includes the breastbone in front, the heart and the lungs on the inside, and then the 12 ribs that connect through cartilage to your breastbone in front and to your thoracic spine in back. It also includes your shoulder blades, collarbones, and your arm bones. So the upper arm bone, the elbows, the forearms, and even the hands. So when something in your hand is tight, it's going to reflect all the way up through your forearm, through your upper arm bone, and into your shoulder. It's all related. And that's one of the important things to explore so that you can have more ease and relaxation around your neck and shoulders, and that will also make breathing much more pleasurable and easier to do. So I want to share with you one tip right off the bat is to check your posture. If you align the head and float the head up as if it were a balloon, you're elongating the space from C7, which is this little notch. You might be able to reach in back of your neck and feel that little notch. So there, right up into the occipital notch here in the skull, when you elongate and create more space there, and use the image of your head like a balloon going up, you'll feel a slight stretch through your neck, and this elevation of the head going up will create more ease in your breathing. You also want to check that when your shoulders, it's very easy and very common, especially with all the media or reading a book, to have a slightly rounded. Ideally, the ears and the shoulders from the side match up. So that means that the rib cage is neither flared, sometimes that's called guarding, like hardening the front of the chest and pushing the chest out or being in the future, and it's neither that nor is it, another very common posture is where you're kind of defeated, and that's like going into gravity too much. And I'm exaggerating a little, but a lot of times you'll see it just subtly, and it's enough that creates tension in the neck like that, like a little rounding. So ideally, your relationship to gravity is neither lockdown forced, which would be this one, nor completely surrender there. It's the sense that you can feel your feet and you're pushing into the earth and you're yielding. So there's a balance between softness and strength. And it's in that openness that the whole heart can open and the breath will have its most relaxation and depth. And that's what we want with breath. Our alveoli, which are in the bronchioles, like the branches of a tree, in the bottom of the lungs, they're more in the bottom. So if we don't take those deep breaths, we're taking little shallow breaths to get the oxygen that we need, and we're barely meeting our minimum. We're also tensing the shoulders and there's pain. But if we practice the alignment of the head to the shoulders, and we practice breathing more fully down into the lungs, the muscles between the ribs, intercostal muscles, they open. You're breathing in the front, back, and sides of your lungs. And then the alveoli get to work in that rubber band kind of movement to really move the oxygenated blood out into the blood that goes out into the cells, and then also the blood that's ready to release the carbon monoxide comes back in with your exhale. And your body's able to cleanse and release. So check your posture. Use the image, not forcing your posture, but the sense that you're pushing into the floor just a little bit and aligning your posture with ease, the image of a balloon going up. And now what I'd like you to do is to breathe through your nose and just breathe naturally, noticing if you have a dominance on one side of your nose or another. And you're not judging your breath, you're actually just picking up information. So your attention is going to the breath and noticing any other qualities about the breath. Notice if you're breathing more on the right side or the left side. A lot of us breathe more in the front than the back. And rather than changing it, we're just picking up information, just giving it attention. Now let yourself breathe through your mouth, softening your lips, softening your jaw, and as you inhale, breathe in for about 4. Hold for 4. Now in the holding, I'd like you to push the breath down to your belly. And then take it from the belly. You're still holding your breath. Bring it back up to the chest. And just do that again. I'm going to show you from a side view. I'm bringing it down. And then I'm bringing it back up. And now exhale. Let's try that again. Inhale for 4. Hold it. And then you're taking the breath and the diaphragm and pushing it down into the belly. Back up. And again. And back up. Return to your exhale. Breathe natural. Notice any other qualities about your breath right now after doing that exercise. And begin to notice if you can feel the movements that are happening with your breath. And in particular, the heart and the lungs are going down a little bit with every inhale. And they're floating back up with your exhale. And continue to follow the movement of your breath, and we're just going to exaggerate it a little bit. A couple more like that, similar to the way we're moving the breath, but we were holding it last time. Moving the body, but we're holding the breath. Now we're breathing, but we're moving with the inhale, with the pause, and with the exhale. There's no special way it has to look. One more. So just breathe naturally now. And I'd like you to check in and notice your energy level. Notice anything else that has changed from when you first started watching this. I'm going to give you a couple stretches for your shoulders and for the intercostal muscles. If you reach your arms up and just bend your body to the side, you could do this from a chair, from standing position, or I'm sitting in a Japanese style. So we're creating a stretch right through the armpit and through the side of the body. Take it to the other side. Breathing little breaths wherever you can find some room here. So these muscles need to be stretched in order to breathe nice and deep, full. Come back through your center. Let your arms come down and just roll your shoulders around as you sense your collarbones from the innermost to the outermost edges. Might feel good to nod or say no a few times. And then pause and just let your head drop to one side and give yourself, you're releasing into the gravitational pull, and then just a little no here, softening the neck. Float the head up and we'll go to the other side. Breathe natural. Little no. And float your head up. So one thing about this part of the body, if you have shoulder pain, frozen shoulders, or tight jaw and neck, a lot of times it's muscles that are overworking that need to be released, and that means muscles that are underworking need to be strengthened. So some strength training, especially with a band. Let me see if I can find my band, 1 second. Can be really effective. These bands you can buy online just about anywhere. TheraBand, Spry bands, they're used in physical therapy. But we're going to use it just to bring the traps down a little bit here on the side. It's called your trapezius muscle. So if you place it over your shoulder and then grab a hold of it in the front and the back and pull it down. And we're just massaging it down. You want to place it right over where you're feeling most of the muscle tension. Hold it pretty tight, so it's going to stretch it pretty tight, and then let your head go to the side. And you might explore some movement here as you breathe naturally. Exhales are good. And you'll do that on each side, but especially if you have one side that's feeling numb, that's called sensory amnesia. Numbness happens from lack of movement or where we completely disconnect from sensation in one part of the body. That could be from pain or emotional reasons. When the body starts to come back alive, we start to feel tingling and muscles when they're squeezing and when they're stretching. Oh, that side felt really good for me. So that's one way to use the band. The band, there's lots of exercises. We're going to be doing them in Kai all week, where you're rowing and you're creating some strength to balance out the rounded chest, strengthening your back and opening it up. We'll be doing those, as well as muscles of rotators through the shoulders. These are often used for those. So those will be doing in class, and maybe I'll do another video. But I want to show you one more stretch that's really yummy. So you'll need either, if you're outside somewhere, a bar or a bridge or a countertop works really well. If you take your hands over it, lengthen your spine, and let your head go right between your biceps. We're going to take palms up here, so we're internally rotating the upper arm bone and reaching back. And while you're here, you want to really lean into the armpit area. And then start to come back up. Now it's really important to get a lot of, the shoulder joints are made for lots of different kind of movements and play, from internal rotations to external rotations to all of the extensions that we can do through the arms. So another thing to do is, if you have a water bottle, put your elbows on that bar, bring your head back through again, holding your water bottle, reach back with your tailbone, and then see if you can go side to side here with that water bottle. My left side's a little more tight than my right. Feel your way into it. You shouldn't have pain, but you'll feel a stretching sensation. It'll take just a couple minutes, and you can do it multiple times during the day, and that's a great way to open this up. If you feel it compressing too much in the front, then avoid it. And if you feel pain, then that wouldn't be a good thing to do. But for me, it really opens up a stretch underneath the armpit and opens up more freedom in my arms to breathe and to express and to feel open-hearted. Hope this was helpful, and hope to see you in Kai soon. If you have any questions, jot them down. I'd love to share more. Have a good day. Namaste.